I gotta work on those transitions, man. That's a little rough. What's going on? It's Sunday. Man, it doesn't feel like Sunday, but it is Sunday. Anyway, some crazy stuff. I just got some new equipment. Got this new microphone. Mic check 1 2 1 2. So I'm just testing out my new equipment, and I thought I'd hop on and well, we can talk about some of the stuff that's going on. Why not? That's what we do anyway, right? We just talk about stuff anyway. That's all we do, right? So Shadowgate, it dropped on Friday. Has anyone checked it out? I checked it out. I liked it a lot too. I learned a lot from it too. And it kind of scared me at the same time. But a lot of good information, Shadowgate. And then the person who created the film, her house got raided by the FBI, I believe, the day of. So that's some crazy stuff. Anytime that the FBI raids your house because of something you're about to release, or if you're about to release something that implicates or puts into perspective a lot of things that a lot of people didn't know or weren't aware of, and you get arrested because of that, that's kind of crazy. So this is Millie Weaver. If you know about her, well, if you've watched InfoWars, you've seen her because she's a reporter on InfoWars. But this is from HT. I don't even know what this news source is. I went through a whole bunch, and they all say the same thing. So I got a couple pulled up for you guys, and I've got Shadowgate pulled up too. I've got a kind of crazy part queued up, right in the middle of the documentary where things start getting hot and heavy. But yeah, again, I thought I'd just jump on the stream, see how it's going, see how the equipment works, replay back the recording, and adjust from there and see where we're at. But let's get into this right here. And let me just make sure I can see it. Oh no, we're still on my lovely headshot. So here we go. And do I like the way that is? Give me 1 second here. I am a perfectionist. Bam, bam. Alright, that's not bad. I just don't want you guys to see all my tabs. Those are my tabs. That's my tabs. Alright, here we go. Cool. Just double checking that I can see it. I can see it on YouTube. Alright, we're good to go. On YouTube, at least. Alright, so who is Millie Weaver? Why was she arrested ahead of Shadowgate release? Internet helps raise 13 of the 20,000 needed. I'm assuming this is to get her out of jail. I've got her relief fund here too. I'll show it in a second. They've raised a lot more than 13K so far, so good for you, Millie. Hope you and your family are taken care of, and well, thanks for dropping some really mind-blowing information. That's to say the least. So, in a shocking piece of news, investigative reporter Millie Weaver and her husband were arrested at their home. The arrest comes in the wake of her documentary release on the topic of the U.S. shadow government, which was all set to be screened on YouTube, as she had teased in her last tweet. While there seems to be no confirmation as to why she was taken off by the officers, a string of speculative theories seem to have popped up on social media. This says she was born on 1991 in San Bernardino, California. Aspiring actress who went on to be a political activist and reporter. Yeah, I guess if you want to be an actress or an actor or an entertainment person and that falls through, well, news and politics and reporting are right pretty close behind, right? So it makes sense. All right, so on the August 11th, 2020, she posted a trailer with the caption, "The Obamagate scandal only scratches the surface. This may be the biggest whistleblowing event to date. Official trailer, Shadowgate." So let's see if they have the Shadowgate trailer here. They do. Yeah, that's great. We'll watch it. Why not? After the shocking news, the tweet went viral with over 7,000 retweets and 8,000 likes in a few hours. The narration in the trailer says, "Both parties are equally guilty in what should turn out to be an even bigger scandal. Shadowgate, the tactical and operational role the shadow government played behind the scenes carrying out the coup against President Trump." The trailer also detailed that the documentary would detail who the real puppet masters and string pullers are. Wait, so you mean there's people behind the scenes running things? I thought everyone we saw on TV were the people that were running things. All the government officials, those aren't the people. There's people above them. Well, turns out there is. And all the information laid out in the documentary is really well laid out. So it's very convincing. Here's the trailer.
What if I were to tell you that a small group of government contractors were hired by government officials to frame the Trump campaign, set him up for the Russia collusion investigation, provided witnesses for the impeachment hearings, and provided administrative support services to the Department of Justice during the Mueller investigation? And what if it just so happened that this same group of contractors are behind the fake news in mainstream media, influence operations on social media, and the civil unrest nationwide pushing the defund the police movement? The Obamagate scandal only scratches the surface.
You mentioned shock value, that is shocking what the Russians did. I agree, we need to stop it.
I know that now based on the Horowitz report.
I'm not saying that you lied to the court. I'm saying you signed something that was a lie and you didn't know it.
Talk about a cover story. What really happened is much more alarming. Both parties are equally guilty of covering up what should turn out to be an even bigger scandal, Shadowgate. The tactical and operational role the shadow government played behind the scenes, carrying out the coup against President Trump. We're going to be looking behind the puppets at who the real puppet master string pullers are. The material presented in this documentary should concern people of all political affiliations. This is about real players, people whose names never come up, but should.
Yeah, so that was dropped on August 11th, 2020, so last week. And then the documentary dropped on Friday the 14th. Or one day away from Friday the 13th. How ironic would that have been? So that was a trailer, but Millie was also arrested from her home on August 14th, the day it dropped. We already mentioned that, but there's a tweet that I guess this is the tweet. For everyone listening, I don't have Twitter. I don't have Instagram. I think YouTube's the furthest I go with social media, maybe my LinkedIn account. But those are very specific reasons why I don't do that. And the movie, or the film, the documentary, whatever you call it, goes into some pretty good detail on why it's good not to have a social media account. It doesn't mean that if I don't have a social media account that my data's not collected. That's just not true. Everything that you do on a day-to-day basis is logged somewhere on some supercomputer. It's being fed into some Skynet type AI system that's creating a profile on you and what you like, what you don't like, what makes you crazy. Well, the film goes into pretty good detail on how all of that stuff happens. The process, the workflow, the data flow, who's involved, all of that stuff. I mean, it's all right here. It's still available on YouTube. That's the crazy thing for me, is that when Out of Shadows came online, it had like something crazy, a couple million views in a couple days, and YouTube kept on shadow banning it or hiding it. So very coincidental, right? Shadowgate and then shadow banning. But yeah, YouTube is synonymous for shadow banning things that they don't want particular people to see, or films or topics or items that have a specific partisan viewpoint. This isn't news for anyone. Everybody knows this. Anyway, this is Millie Weaver. When she's arrested, she somehow was able to film this portion of it before she was arrested. So let's listen up.
You're saying a grand jury indicted me? For what?
We're going to have 221s out here. We have room to transport one. Can you send us a car, please? 9107 Yale Road. Okay. I will give you all your paperwork when we get to the jail. Right now, I need you to get some shoes.
Okay.
Because we need to get moving.
Okay.
I need to get this taken care of.
Well, this time you're not getting ever back.
Guys, I don't know what's happening right now. The police have just showed up at my house, and they said that they're arresting me. They said that a grand jury indicted me for something. I have no idea what. This is crazy. Where's my shoe? I have one shoe here. Okay.
And one shoe there. So we're good.
So why wasn't I given anything in the mail? Like, I have no idea what this is talking about.
Yeah, Billy.
Guys, I'm literally about to break huge breaking news right now, and I'm being arrested, and I have no idea. Burglary? For what? They're not even saying. They're saying
Okay.
we're being charged.
Okay. Now, is this from the grand jury or are these green sheets?
Grand jury?
Are these green sheets or are they is this an indictment? Okay, very good. Okay.
This is my son right now.
All right.
Buddy,
Come on, let's go. To the car. I've been more than nice. To the car.
I don't understand what's happening right now. Like, please share this.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So I don't know if anybody caught that, but in the very beginning they said that a grand jury indicted them or indicted her. She says it at the very beginning.
You're saying a grand jury indicted me?
They're saying a grand jury indicted me. So, and then later on in the video, they say something about burglary, but they also have some type of dialogue where they're talking about the grand jury or green sheets. I'm not familiar with what green sheets are, so I'm gonna look that up right now. I can end this stream here in a couple minutes anyway. I got something else to do, but this is all just a test anyway to see if it works. So green sheets, I have no clue what green sheets are. If you're in law enforcement or any of those types of things, and you know what a green sheet is, let us know in the comments section, because that'd be great to know. Green sheets. I'm not sure what that is. And here, let's towards the end, you can hear them talking about green sheets.
Burglary? For what? They're not even saying. They're saying
Okay.
we're being charged.
Okay.
With
Now, is this from the grand jury or are these green sheets?
Grand jury or green sheets. I have no clue what that is, but that's extremely interesting. Grand jury green sheets. So this comes up. So U.S. attorneys seek grand jury indictments for burglary. Why not call the local PD on a burglary charge? I digress. Here is a video link to Millie getting arrested at her home this morning. So we already watched that. The conspiracy theory is that Millie was arrested today before she can upload her new documentary for the world to see and expose the contractors that do the dirty work for politicians in D.C. Shadowgate. So that's the Shadowgate trailer. We already watched that. And then here's a link to Alex Jones discussing the arrest on the show and why he thinks they were coming after her. I have not seen this yet. How long is this? Oof. This is pretty the full show. I'm sure Alex Jones will get into it, but
viral on Twitter because he was at Barton Springs. They wouldn't let him in. Apparently, you now need a reservation. But this is the free side.
yeah, I mean, I think everybody watches Alex Jones for a while, right? They have to. Well, if you get to where we're at right now, I think Alex Jones is like a gateway truther source, right?
Everybody was already pouring through. So there you go. And we'll tear down the New World Order. We'll tear down your robots. And we'll tear the globalist political guts out of their slimy you-know-whats.
He's so entertaining to watch, though. And his voice is so unique. It's crazy. All right, let's see if we can find when he talks about Millie Weaver.
Based on the town he grew up in, we're 12-1, adapting to being slaves.
Oh, man. I am not at all a fearmonger. Okay, here it is.
I already know all this. It's already came out in the Vault 7 dumps, and we already know from Snowden, and I'm not touching this stuff. And I think they're heroes, like Julian Assange or like many others that have blown the whistle, but Trump needs to immediately have the Justice Department talk to Millie Weaver and these other folks, because these are real people. I mean, they interviewed former high-level NSA people, and because of the way things are going, I guess these folks told them some big secrets, folks. Some big secrets. And I was at arm's length on this because I know how dangerous it is. I said, Millie, I mean, believe me, they got General Flynn's son to come to our event in D.C., and they had a bunch of defense intelligence people there. I mean, this is a serious war inside the government. And so they thought it's the right thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do, but it's extremely dangerous. So this is how the media is controlled, and the levers of control are still in the deep state's hands. That's why I've gotten mad at Pompeo and said, you need to get control of this or you're part of it. And he's been getting control of it, and he admits we're at war with China, and I like Pompeo overall now. I think he's been making the right moves. They know a lot of stuff we don't know, but Millie Weaver, during her live stream, just got SWAT teamed, and it's sealed. National security won't even say what. We're going to get the folks that are at another location on. They may get raided any minute. And so let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the clip we have of Millie.
So if you're just tuning in, we already watched Millie Weaver get arrested. There's a wiki I found, a thread. Well, what's this from? TigerDroppings.com. But yeah, they put a link to Alex Jones talking about Millie Weaver's arrest, and well, you heard his comments. He said he was, a broomstick's length away from this entire topic, and he knew what was going on. And Millie Weaver and her team, in the making of this documentary, must have talked to some high-level NSA or intelligence officers who, might have released too much information. Let's just put it that way. All right, let's see if Alex Jones actually talks about her again. I don't know why I keep looking into the mic like it's the camera. I feel like every time I look into here, I should be looking into there, but I'm getting used to this. Maybe I'll put the camera right there. Maybe I'll put it right there. We'll see. Maybe I'll have two cameras. Huh? Couple angles? That's cool, right? And then once we get Kevin back on the show, maybe we could look like we're talking at each other. I don't know. Mum's the word. The sky's the limit.
Hillary's emails, all of it. So nobody has the courage to put this stuff out. And the Justice Department's all scared of the other criminal side, because they're criminals. They'll kill you. And then they use normal feds and police to go out and do their dirty work. And it's disgusting. So I was told there was a SWAT team there as well, but stuff just lost translation. I'm glad it wasn't a no-knock warrant like with Roger and 25 SWAT team people and helicopters and boats. But that's what's going on here. We'll just call her. We're not going to get into her last name. She's been on the show before. Tori, you were on the live stream. You're live streaming now, and all this began to happen. I know that you guys finished the film now finally today. I was told that is Shadow Gate, and obviously that's probably why this happened. Thanks for joining us. I know this is a hectic situation. Tell us why you think this is unfolding.
Well, what's interesting is that we were having problems. From what I gather, Millie was having problems parsing the video together, and her internet connection was extremely slow, and so it was very difficult for her to even put it together.
Sure,
so,
obviously everything's under surveillance. So you guys were about to release this. What do you think's going on?
They know that we don't have possession of Hillary's emails. So this is just them trying to get information. I mean, burglary, come on, Alex. Why would Millie commit burglary? This is insane. This is a facade. This is insane. They just came to her house, knocked. What grand jury? Who brought that up?
To be clear, you guys know where the emails are. You're exposing the holes that Brennan and Clapper left in there.
Well, yeah, and how the whole dossier is to cover up their real crimes. The dossier was a two-pronged thing. It was a weapon to use against Trump if she won, so they can round up every single patriot. And it was insurance to make sure if he did get elected, that they would take him down as an asset. The dossier was completely fabricated to hide.
I understand, and you're a lady that's exposed the Kentucky election fraud, major big national stories. You've been on the inside. You don't even want to say your last name at this point, but you've been on before. I know who you are. We're going to go to break, continue with your stream, and when we come back to just to talk about, is the film, I was told it was finally ready today, is the film, obviously this is about Shadowgate, what are they so scared of in Shadowgate? Well, folks, it's on record. Obama and Brennan and Clapper still run the propaganda engines inside the CIA and NSA that allow them to have control of the media. That's how they put out the talking points. And I've been begging Trump to shut this down.
That's insane. Did you hear what he said? They use this system, this Shadowgate, and I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody. You guys need to watch this documentary before it's taken down. Before it's taken down. You need to check it out. Actually, you know what? I have it right here. And again, this is 45 minutes in. A lot of good information before this point, but I'm gonna have to cut the stream here pretty soon. So let's just watch a little bit of this and see what they don't want you to see. But here we have 1.3 million views in how many days? Since Friday. This was uploaded Friday. Let's check it out.
Because it's their job to be our voice and ask those questions.
So I mean, I guess
they're in on it.
So I guess the question is, are they all just that inept? Or is there something else going on? Section 702 of the FISA Amendment Act of 2008 was created to stop illegal surveillance through data collection. It ends up being used as cover, providing the intelligence agencies front-facing legal access to unauthorized data, while turning a blind eye to private contractors having backdoor access to all data.
I had access through the administrative side platform, because I was one of the first on it, to be able to see all communications between people like Adam Schiff, Brennan, Feinstein's staffers, and General Jones, and many more that I don't want to say because I haven't publicized that yet, actually. Because there's foreign people. I did see communications of former GCHQ head Hannigan.
This is heavy
Robert
stuff,
Hannigan
guys.
was part of the company at GSG, right? So I gave most of this information to Millie Weaver, and she put out a report. And even though I had legal access to all their communications, because I had my username and password, the minute she did that report, within just, I believe, almost instantaneously, the website was taken down and my access was revoked. They changed it. Well, it wasn't revoked. They just upheld the whole server. It was done. It was finished. They made it toast. I mean, that's what they do. But nothing ever really dies, really. Because the way they use their servers is by torrents. So all their information is hidden somewhere across the planet. Maybe we should look at some old articles that I put out on Hurricane Electric to find those servers and those little bits and seed them correctly. So I mean, you'd be able to seed it with something like a keystone.
I want to ask you about John Brennan and the blackmail. So, who all did he have blackmail collected on? Any politicians?
Should I keep going? This is getting kind of spicy. You guys want to watch this on your own? Since I've got all of 3 people watching, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna keep playing. But for anybody else, this whole stream's been kind of just diving into Shadowgate and Millie Weaver's arrest, and I'm gonna keep playing it. But before I do, if you've gotten this far and you haven't done so far, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button on this video or leaving a comment. I'm attempting to build this up, this discussion format, or whatever you call this. I usually have my friend Kevin on with me, but I just like talking about the news, about social events. You know, I've never ever liked talking about that stuff at all, but I think it's important now, since everyone's going through this sort of awakening, regardless of what you call it. Everybody's kind of waking up to new things around them. It doesn't necessarily have to be conspiratorial plots against the people, but even if you realize something about your significant other or your son or your daughter or anybody else, even if you've noticed one new thing about them from being locked inside with them for the last 4 or 5 months, I consider that an awakening. An awakening is just being exposed to information that you never knew. So, anyway, Millie Weaver, where is it at? Yeah, so early in that article released on Saturday, they said they had raised $15 of the $20,000, but now it's up to $87,164 that they've raised for Millie Weaver. And the goal is $100,000. It's a GoFundMe. Just type in emergency legal defense fund for Millie Weaver. But all this money's going to help with any legal fees or family trauma or any of those things that come with being arrested by the FBI, being indicted by a grand jury, those types of things. Anyway, let's keep it going. They just got into the keystone.
You mean that I've seen?
Yes.
A lot of people. Yes.
And politicians?
Yes.
So would you say there's any side more Democrats or more Republican, or is it kind of even?
Very even, Stephen.
So they're essentially talking about the swamp, the deep state. And Millie Weaver asked, is it just Democrats or is it just Republicans? And Tor here says it's even. So the deep state is deep for a reason. And, it seems like they've got resources on both sides. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so once this blackmail was collected on politicians, what did they do with it?
Even Pelosi doesn't know what they have on her. Neither does Blumenthal. Nobody. I can keep going down.
But do they know that these people have blackmail on them?
Only if they've butted heads.
Okay.
So we saw a butting of heads between Murkowski, was it, and Feinstein, right?
Look at that. Oh my God, that's terrifying. You have, yeah, that's terrifying. I think that's Feinstein on the left. And, that little smug grimace growl, it seems pretty freaking, seems pretty intimidating, especially when it's this person that's saying, listen up, you little, I've got so-and-so documents on your kids and your husband, and I can use this on you, and, I'm connected this way, or it's crazy. I'm not easily intimidated, but the energy that I'm getting from this picture and the situation scares the crap out of me. Let's keep going.
That's a butting of heads. That's where it's like, hey, we got this. You know, where she put her up against the wall? It happens all the time.
Now you know how our government has been compromised. 24/7 surveillance mixed with blackmail. What's the significance of Cambridge Analytica being attached to Trump's campaign?
Everything that I saw with the description of like how Cambridge Analytica functioned, what they did, the computer applications, everything that I saw with that, I would describe as just a later iteration of the ShadowNet.
Was Cambridge Analytica, to your knowledge, an IAA operation?
Yes, it was. And I believe that it was so blatant because it was piloted at the same time that the RNC and the DNC were hacked. It was all formulated correctly.
I've said to you, it's all coming out, and the question is how.
I didn't conspire to leak Hillary's emails, and I have nothing to do with Russia. So,
yes.
The fact is...
Yeah, I'm just going to pause it here for a sec. This is the person that was heading Cambridge Analytica. But just respond to the chat here. I haven't heard Marfugel talk about this yet on his show, and this did just drop on Friday, but it's hard for me to sit here and say that, you know, Adam hasn't heard about this in some form or fashion. That guy's plugged in, right? So I really think that he's probably seen this, but this documentary goes to some places that scare the bejeebies out of me, especially in relation to robotics and some of the things that are going to be enforced once we need order, a new world order. That's just crazy to me. We can keep going here. He's talking about honeypots. I just want to skip around so much on this documentary, but I'm not going to. I'll just keep going here, and I'll keep responding to the chat, and let's just see how long this goes. It's supposed to get off 10 minutes ago, but I'm having fun, so let's do it.
It looks like I did both.
Does it look like you did both?
If I wasn't me, I would say yes, that's what it looks like. I was part of the team running Obama's Facebook. We invented the way social media is used to communicate with voters.
This is how they were going to do it. You know, they were supposed to go in. They were supposed to sway him because they were supposed to give up the goods to match the Russia hack.
Why would they be running an IAA operation that would be helping Trump win? Because that doesn't make sense when we know that General Jones is a Democrat and many of these people don't like Trump. So what gives?
Well, because then we just make it look like Russia was running the Cambridge Analytica program too.
And it admits to it right here. I am headed to Washington, D.C. for my testimony for the Mueller investigation. I definitely didn't think that while we're sitting there counting votes, that some of those votes were made by people who had seen fake news stories paid for by Russia.
That's crazy. This gets into it, but yeah, 87,000 last time I checked. I'm sure if I refresh the page, yeah, 95,000. This has gone up just in the last 30 minutes. I started this stream about 30 minutes ago. Wow. And I like how the goal shifts. So the goal shifts as more money comes in. That's cool. But man, she's going to have her legal fees paid for, hopefully. And hopefully her and her family come out of this unscathed. It crushed me when her son was trying to talk to her. And, you know, we've all had those instances where there's a work phone call and you have to, pretty much tell your kids, hey, not right now, not right now. That crushes me as it is doing that, but having the cops taking you away and putting you in handcuffs in the back of a car and your kids, that's just crazy to me. But that documentary also gets into some robotic stuff. I don't know if people have seen the Boston Dynamics stuff on YouTube. I mean, it's hard for you not to have seen it. But a lot of the robotics that are coming out now, they've already had for a very long time. So Boston Dynamics, it's just crazy. 2 months ago, they keep making these robots smarter and faster. Actually did just see this commercial too, so now they're normalizing it. They're essentially, this is predictive programming at its finest. It can help us work. It's durable. Don't worry, if you're trying to fight it out and it falls down, well, it can get back up. And it will remember your face, too. Oh, man, it's crazy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You hear that? Predictive programming much? Let's run that back. And see here you have, well, their facial recognitions. I don't know if the hertz, the 0.434 hertz, if that's the frequency the human's emitting. That's crazy if it was, right? Well, here, let's see if I can catch what they say again. So robots are now helping healthcare workers at Brigham and Women's Hospital. And here you see the robot scanning the person's face. This is predictive programming at its finest. Oh, okay, and here on the left-hand side, you can see some of the code here. This is live. I've never seen this before, so I'm doing this live. So on the left-hand side, you see Pi cache. You see a thermal camera. Oh, that's the okay. Gotcha. So there's a thermal camera and then the thermal face, I'm guessing, detection, and those are just the sub programs under each of the features. Yeah, I wonder what kind of program they're using. This is all in Python. You see it Python here, and I mean, you got some blatant 666s here, but I don't know if that's on purpose. I mean, a lot of times when you're programming and you're setting your integers, you go from 0 to 9999. At least from a resolution standpoint. So, yeah, right. Golden crisp. That's a great point. That's the part that scared me. Is the new cops. Essentially, you're talking about RoboCop. Oh, and the human element is all the information that they've been collecting. I've heard that they are essentially creating people inside the machine, Ghost in the Machine. Remember that? Ghost in the Machine. I know there was Ghost in the Shell. That was an anime cartoon, but in that movie iRobot, they were talking about ghosts in the machine. And essentially, man, we're building these profiles of people, and they're going to be populating real live robotic beings that can make decisions and recognize your face and read the temperature of your body and see you in the dark and know if you are scared because you're emitting a frequency below 0.43 hertz. That's crazy. And it's cool. And it can play games with you. No need to go outside and make friends because we're making friends and sending them to your house. Okay, there was... I'm gonna do a video just on this freaking commercial because there's so much predictive programming in here. But did anybody catch the stickers on the side of that robot as it was walking by? NASA and JPL. I don't know what JPL is. Do you guys know what JPL is? Jet Propulsion Laboratory. If I'm digressing, I apologize, but this is crazy stuff. And it's just it's funny how you can watch one video and you might notice something if you're watching critically. Again, I'm looking at the mic. I should be looking at you guys, right? You can watch one video like this commercial and see something that puts you on a rabbit hole chase. You start chasing the white rabbit. It's crazy. So I put in JPL. So this is just the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. But it's crazy with this because when I think of NASA and robots, are we sending these as future explorers? Is that potentially what we're doing, or is there something more to it? You know, NASA was a direct result of Operation Paperclip, and we all know who headed NASA, right? And what his mission was. So that's crazy. But let's keep going. That's crazy. This commercial also had a very well, Google bought Boston Dynamics in like 2010, so it makes sense why they have a very Google-ish appeal. But some of these freaking robots are terrifying. Yeah, so Spot seems like it's gonna be the one that's gonna probably appeal to people first. You know, you have a robotic pet. This thing is so cute, and you can play fetch with it. Yeah, this was a year ago. The Boston Dynamic robots. Here's a plug for rover robots, so not far away from the space thing. So I'm gonna mute this because well, the music isn't that great. But this is Atlas. So Atlas, it's just you know, your friendly neighborhood parkour robot who just runs hills for fun. You know, this is the Joe Rogan of robots. He just runs hills. He just likes to sweat, except doesn't sweat regular sweat. He sweats oil, and get some squat jumps every once in a while in there, and well, the key to staying sharp, right? So these. This is crazy. All right, I fully digressed from where I was going, but not really. You know, if you watch the documentary, the stuff I'm showing right now makes sense, so it'll make sense. But anyway, I'm gonna shut this down. If you watched live, I appreciate it. If you chatted in the chat box, I appreciate it. Go ahead and like it, subscribe to it, share it, make comments. Let's get on Marfugal News. Let Marfugal know about this. I've got that alien sound that might have brought you over here from Marfugal News. It's live and well. I'm thinking about maybe getting some bigger speakers, so you can hear it. If you play it on your phone or your computer speakers, it's not that great, but yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, for watching. Reggie, this is the Great American Fallout. We're waiting on Kevin. He's busy, but once he gets back, he's going to be right here with us. And thanks for joining. Cheers, guys.